Hello and welcome back. I'm Athena, and this is my first series on 30 Days on Womanhood. So I am very excited, and since I am on day 19, I want to go ahead and jump right into it. And today is about priority. So, priority is something that literally will determine our lives. Making someone or something your priority is basically what consumes your life. So, at times when we are being consumed with work or with family or with personal issues, a lot of times the reason that we have so much depth with those issues is because that's what we're making our priority. Our jobs, a lot of times, is a big priority to us, and that's why we can be extremely miserable or extremely in bliss because we're making something that we love or something that we don't love our priority. Um, and perception is everything when it comes to your priority as well, because we can have partnerships that we adore, partnerships that we need in our lives, and we're not always able to give that relationship a priority. So sometimes it's lost, or sometimes it's not as prevalent in your life anymore because that relationship was not made a priority, whether it's family, whether it's romantic, or whether it's a friendship. All of those things line up together with what is important in your life and what you give your attention to. So, priority is an important word because it's whatever you're giving your attention to. You know, we all know the saying, whatever you give your attention to will grow. And I'm just very careful of what I give my attention to nowadays, what I make my priority, and how it is affecting my life. I believe because in the past I did give things priority that now I can look back and say that shouldn't have been so high on the list. And in hindsight, of course, I can say that, but in the moment, there was no way that um, I was able to recognize that this thing or person is not important enough to determine um, my future. So the attention that I gave it was just so, to me, it was such a, I hate to say waste of time, but it was long drawn, or it was just drawn out too far. Because I think some lessons can be learned and some lessons have to be learned. You don't have a choice sometimes. So, on the things that I didn't always have a choice on, um, I feel like they were, a little bit more long and drawn out than they needed to be because that's where I was putting my attention to. And I think that's sometimes even how people can get caught up in addictive behavior, even if it's not an actual physical addiction. It can be being addicted to um, a certain place because there's certain people there that will give you attention, kind of thing. I mean, I really can't call um, everyone else's out because I just know that the things that I've made a priority for me have either helped me drastically or hurt me drastically. And looking back, I'm able to pinpoint those moments and those times for myself. So, that's one of the reasons that I'm making this video, is so that I can also recall and pinpoint those moments and be able to release and express those moments so that other people can um, have some type of relation or some type of like confirmation saying like, yeah, that did happen to me too, or yes, priority is important, and maybe we can all step back and um, reprioritize our lives, because that's literally how we change our life. Literally how we change our lives is what we make important to us. So if my family and friends are important to me, then I make priority for them. If my work is important to me, then I make sure that I'm doing the right things that are going to affect me at work. When I'm not at work, I have to sometimes take into consideration how this can affect my work. Um, you know, that's actually how a lot of really successful people that I read about and that I learn about and that I watch on videos and that I examine. And I mean, there are so many successful people out there that I love learning from in all different fields. It can be sports. I don't play sports. I mean, I exercise and do yoga, but that's about as far as it goes. And I'm good at shooting a basketball and catching a football. But other than catching a football and throwing a basketball into the net, um, yeah, that's it. But the things that I learned from their sportsmanships, the sportsmanship that the players have, women and men, the commitment that they have created for themselves, the loyalty, um, the workmanship, just so many beautiful qualities that I'm able to adapt into my lifestyle and my character because I'm able to learn from them. And that's something that I have genuinely prioritized in my life, is learning from the best, directly from their mouth, directly from their mouth to the camera. Maybe not always to me. We can't always get that from every single person. You know, I haven't been able to meet Oprah yet. I haven't been able to talk to her face to face yet. Um, but I am looking forward to that day. Um, and I just prioritize learning from the best. I prioritize learning from the people who have been there before me to where I'm going. And I think we have to do that to become the best version of ourselves. We have to prioritize where we're going. So we have to look at who's been there so that we can learn from them and also create our own path, because it will always be different from someone else's. But the most beautiful part of the fact that our journey is so independent is that there are certain habits that if we do not do, that the previous I want to always say the leaders have done in that field, or pioneers have done in that field, then we have to pay attention and prioritize that type of behavior if we're going to at least get there. Now, how we get there may be different, but we have to prioritize certain habits. Otherwise, the commonalities will not align. And if certain commonalities don't align, then certain successes also have limitations. And that is if we don't prioritize our health, if we don't prioritize our wealth, if we don't prioritize making sure that we take care of the people that we love, because that gives us fulfillment. Those things can literally make or break the joy that you create in your life, giving you fulfillment, giving ourselves fulfillment. And So I prioritize my health. I prioritize washing my face. I prioritize spending time with my mother. I prioritize making sure that that I don't have a hangover when I have to go to my job Monday through Friday, because it's a sensitive um, field, and the people that I'm working with, they deserve the best of me, and I don't want to come in with the hangover. Like, there were certain jobs that I had before where I was able to do things like that, and it wasn't. I didn't have such a um, uh, I didn't have such a consciousness about it, because it just didn't require that, and now it does. So it's like accepting that growth and accepting the changes that I've created for myself and what I've prioritized in my life at this point. And what I've prioritized is making sure that I'm at my best as far as what I can offer the world, what I can offer of myself to the society, to my friends, to my world. And my world looks different than someone else's, because the only view I have is here. So in my world, what's important to me now may not be what's important to someone else, and I can't listen to that. I can't prioritize someone else's um, importance. I can only prioritize mine. And that comes to even partnerships. Like, what's important to someone else may not be as important to another. And that's why alignment is so important, because I personally have to be around people that have some type of alignment with me and what I want and what I feel is important. There has to be some type of commonality for me to be able to spend an adequate amount of time, because our energies have to align. We have to have that commonality, so that there's a certain outcome in my lifestyle, so that there are certain things in certain spaces, certain things that are filled, certain spaces that are filled, and within yourself, certain spaces and things that are filled within your friendships, supporting you and supporting me and supporting our lifestyle. And I think that's so important. And that's where I'm probably going to leave off, is just prioritizing the right people in our lives can determine your life. So prioritizing our lifestyles and the people that we have in it is something that is very important to me and very important to this series, as far as all of the women recognizing who is in their life and who is influencing them, and then turning that around also and recognizing who they're influencing, whether it's their children, whether it's people on social media, whether it's their own mother, their own father. We all learn in different stages, and I just want to always be at my healthiest stage, so that I can offer the people around me my best. Um, Therefore, creating the best versions of themselves as well. So, spreading love and light and good energy and positivity and encouragement. And to do that, I always have to remember to do that for myself first. Because if I can show that I can do it through myself, then it shows that anyone can do it. And I learn from the people that have also already done it. People that have already become successful in their dream career, or learning to step out and do a new thing, or um, just so many people that are brave and willing to step out on a limb and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is a priority. And I just have so much respect for people who are like, no, I have to go to bed at this time, or no, I have to wake up at this time and get myself together so that I can then give the best version of me to the world, because they realize that they are their first priority. And when you become your first priority, everything else just lines up very nicely. Not always perfectly, but it will line up nicely eventually. And I can accredit to I can give that credibility to knowing that that's happened firsthand in my life. What I've made priority really shines through. And I started making myself priority, my biggest priority, and I can really tell. I can really feel that in my soul and in my life and in the way that my immediate world reacts to me and the way that the outside world reacts to me as well. And being able to have a platform where I can express that is so beautiful because I'm able to acknowledge that there is a journey and to acknowledge how to respect that journey along the way is like, I feel it's an honor to be able to speak about it and to be able to keep that doorway like swinging, of people who can be able to express themselves because everyone's not always able to do it. So I'm so thankful, so honored, and I'm in such gratitude for everything in my life and for everyone who watches this video. I send you all deep, deep, deep love and deep, deep, deep healing, love and light. And just know that we're all here for a reason, no matter what pain we've been through. And to push through and just know that if you're here for a reason, no matter if we've lost people or if we had to move on from people or whatever it may be. Just know that you're needed and we all need to find our own path and our own journey, no matter who's on it with us. So make yourself a priority. Do something wonderful for yourself. Do something you love and keep loving yourself. Thank you so much for being here. Blessings beyond measure, and have a beautiful holiday that's coming up. I'll be saying that over the next couple days. But whether you celebrate it or not, I hope that we all spend beautiful time with our family. And even if it's frustrating, that we sometimes breathe through it and just appreciate the person that's sitting next to you. And no matter who they are, no matter if they're annoying or not, just allowing people to be themselves, because it feels good when people allow you to be yourself. All right, so blessings beyond measure, and I'll check you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful night, and a beautiful life.